Anytime, any day. Why not right now? Stop looking up to your boss and start being your own boss. Don't work for paychecks. Work for dreams with no regrets. This is Cracking the Entrepreneur Code. If you have the passion, we'll create the blueprint. Now, your host. You know him from his 7 tips to build the business you always wanted, and now you're about to hear a lot more. Jack H.M. Wong.
Welcome to another episode of Cracking the Entrepreneur Code. And I'm your host, Jack Wong. Well, I wanted to do this topic right from the start, but I'm still waiting for one book that is coming my way. And this topic is about passion, which is a very common topic that I would have said to my client right from the start when they ask me the question, okay, now I'm ready to start a business. So Jack, what should I do? So when I asked, what do you mean by what you should do? They actually said, I do not know what business I should start. What is the niche? What is the industry that I should focus on? Which is a very common question from my experience, however. So I will just give you in this episode my meaning or my definition of passion. So when the book, which I'm going to mention towards the end of this show comes, I will revisit this topic one more time with some of my review from my insight after reading the book. Okay, so what's passion? Passion to me is kind of an intangible feeling. First of all, how many of you can see your passion, can feel your passion, can actually talk to your passion? Well, I'm not sure whether you can do that. But to me, passion is something that I feel motivated. I feel energized. I feel that I am in the positive state at that point in time because I'm passionate about doing something. So perhaps you might be passionate about reading books. You might be passionate about talking to other people. You might be passionate about surfing the internet because that's the feeling you have at that point in time. So my question for you is, do you not know what are you able to focus on at a particular point in time? Given that, let's say, we have a freedom of choice. At this point in time, you are free to do anything. What would be the first thing that you would like to do? Well, that could be your potential passionate topic. So let's say, given a choice, in my case, given a choice, without any restriction, any constraint, if time and money is not a concern, what would I choose to do? Well, honestly, I love reading books, so obviously I will read books. But more importantly, what else will I do? I would love to lead people. I would love to inspire them with my experience. So that's the reason why passion is about sharing my experience with other people, and which is the reason why you are listening to this podcast. Another passion of mine is I like to help people understand the tax legislation. So talking about my background about tax legislation, because my message to other people is the tax system is actually structured to benefit the rich people. Yup, I'm correct, because this is what Robert Kiyosaki said too. The tax system is to benefit the rich people. But when you drill it down further by studying his stuff, actually what he's talking about is the structure, the tax system is structured in favor of the business people and the professional investors. I'll say it again, the tax system is structured to benefit the business owners and the professional investors. So what it means is that my message is, if you start a business, stop thinking about as an employee, you will be able to take advantage of the system. How many of you would like to earn the money that you deserve to earn and keep that in your pocket and paying only the minimum amount to the government in form of tax? This is my message. You see, I'm going to explain this again and again when I receive this book. This book that I'm about to read is a book recommended by my coach Blessinger, and this author is by the name of Ryan Holiday. Ryan Holiday. Ryan Holiday. The surname is very interesting, Holiday. Okay, so Ryan Holiday has a book called The Ego is the Enemy. So what happened is that, as far as I understand at this point in time, if you are doing your business based on your passion, as opposed to doing the business with your purpose, that would be a very dangerous sign. So I would like to revisit this topic, passion versus purpose. Once I've got the book, once I have a chance to review the book, I'll give you the insight. But at this point in time, I want to talk about passion, because many people said, I do not know my passion. And I said, how can you not know? The person says to me, I really don't know, Jack, can you help? So the interesting thing is, from my experience, we all have passion. We actually know it. But it may not be your conscious mind who is aware of that. It is actually from the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is actually a sponge that stores a lot of the past experiences, be it happy, sad, angry, or whatever kind of emotions that you have. So what happens is that these subconscious experiences you have will give you a drive of what you want to do and what you do not want to do. So let's think about a moment in time. I said to you now, well, let's say you have been given freedom of choice. You have not been restrained by any time. What would you like to do? So if you think that, wow, okay, I begin to notice that I like to do this, that is a good sign, because that is something perhaps you will be passionate about. Second thing, think about what your friends, what your colleagues, what your peers, what your family have said to you about what are you good at. So let's say people talk about Jack. I mean, I'm using me as my example. So people said Jack is very quiet because he is analytical. Jack is quiet because he can actually simplify the complex matter into something that people can understand. And Jack is very strong in using interactive and accelerated learning methods to teach students, participants, and audiences. So basically what I'm doing here is think about what other people said to you, because you may not notice it. Remember I said passion is something that you already have, but you may not be consciously aware. So other people might be noticing about it. So what you need to do is to ask them, so what do you think about me? What do you think my strength is? And what do you think I am good at? So these are the clues for you to find out exactly what passion you might have. And I will just say it one more time. Passion is something you have within. It's not for you to identify. The worst thing that happens in the corporate world is you are not even talking about your passion because you are doing work day in, day out based on your boss instruction, isn't it? But my question for you is, now that you decide to come out of the corporate world, decide to start your business, ask yourself, passion is something that you have. You just need to ask yourself a few more questions. Then this word passion, the topic will be revealed. So when I started my business, the first thing is that since I'm so passionate about taxation, so it's very logical for me that my first step in the entrepreneurship world is to do tax training and tax consulting. And I begin to be aware that I'm actually more interested in the way I teach, not what I'm teaching, in the way I influence people, not what I have done to influence other people. So I begin to branch out to other topics. And this is precisely why I'm now into this kind of teaching, consulting, or a variety of topics. Because it's not what I'm teaching that matters. It's how I teach, how I simplify a complex subject matter that matters. You see, that's how I spin off from what the very first topic that I have, tax, into something that is totally non-tax related. Okay, so I believe that you can do that too. And I would like to use another episode to share with you a secret formula. I will call it the ultimate passion discovery formula in the next episode or two, so that you basically understand that you don't need to have passion first before you start your business, which is again a mistake made by many people who have not been consulted by me, because if I don't know my passion, I cannot start my business. It's a myth. Basically, after I've heard so many times about this complaint, I figured out that the ultimate passion discovery formula, is the solution to deal with this. And in the next episode or two, I'm going to discuss this ultimate passion discovery formula. And of course, I will also talk about passion versus purpose after I have a chance to review The Ego is the Enemy, the book that I'm about to read by Ryan Holiday. Okay, so that's the end of this episode. So thanks for listening, my friends. And if you have anyone who you feel that they will benefit from this episode and my podcast show, let them know. Ask them to subscribe so that my message can be reached out to all these wonderful people, including yourself. So until next time we meet, remember, do whatever it takes, be passionate, be relentless. I'll see you in the next episode of Cracking the Entrepreneur Code. Bye!
To continue cracking the entrepreneur code, subscribe for more episodes and download the Amazon bestseller, Cracking the Entrepreneur Code, 7 Tips to Build the Business You Always Wanted at crackingentrepreneurcode.com. Learn more about author and host Jack H.M. Wong and book your 30-minute discovery session to overcome any professional challenge at jackhmwong.com/apply.